Evening, welcome to the dugout. It's a short gap between the second and the third ODI. Of course, Australia has already won the series 2-0, and they are looking at, I think, if my memory serves me correct, they've never whitewashed India in
100% right. They're on the cusp of history.
Wow, so there's history that Australia is chasing for the very first time to whitewash India in a bilateral ODI series. That's never happened. So that's a record India would ensure that they don't let Australia get. Secondly, this series is anyway with a lot of context because of the two gentlemen whose name I don't need to mention, you already know. Because of their performance, every game that is played becomes very important. So whether India has lost the series or they would have been 1-1 or it would have been 2-0 in India's favour, whatever, it wouldn't have mattered. We still would have looked at this ODI with great amount of interest, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the dugout. Before we dive into what is it that India might do in terms of changes, or whether there are 3 or 4 big questions that we'll ask. 1, whether Kuldeep Yadav gets a chance here or not. 2, will Yashasvi Jaiswal get a chance, and will Rohit then be rested? Because there was a lot of chatter about that as well. Though there's a video that's gone viral, we'll touch upon that. That's a question number 2, whether Rohit is going to be rested. Question 1 is whether Kuldeep will play or not. Question 3 is going to be, there were reports before this series started, could this series be a swan song? Is it Virat's swan song, the Sydney ODI? Yes or no? What is it that we are picking up? That is something that we'll try and touch upon. So some major questions to be answered in the next 1 hour or so that we're going to be live in our usual program, the dugout. But firstly, news coming in from Sydney. Clear weather is expected, no rain expected. So that's great news. That's 1. 2, it's a sold out crowd, packed crowd that you're going to be witnessing in Sydney. So people are going to be coming into watching Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and the rest of the Indian team. So that's also expected. What else are we getting in terms of pitch, so on and so forth?
Pretty much what you've said. Sold out crowds, the buzz is there. Just since you mentioned about the many questions that we look forward to answering over the course of the next 40-50 minutes, the word swan song was used. Just a clarity, we're talking Sydney swan song or Australia swan song, because that's another thing people are talking about on the internet.
Before if you remember, in months leading up to this series, there were news reports, right, that this is going to be the last series for Roko. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now the moment of truth has arrived. So whether it will be last or not, we'll get to know tomorrow, no?
Yeah, that's there. But there's one question. Let's get that one out of the way. If you're looking at Virat Kohli and his love affair with Australia, it's happened across formats, as we know. Tomorrow, though, can we say with a sense of certainty, is perhaps the last time we see Virat Kohli play in Australia? I'm not saying categorically play for India in ODIs. That's another conversation.
No, Australia, there's a given. Where is he going to be playing now? I think in his head, 2027 World Cup is the target that he'll have. Firstly, I mean, there are question marks over that as well. I'm not saying question mark in terms of whether he'll be fit enough or not, but question marks only from his side, because usually you can kind of predict as to what the player may be thinking, but Virat has taught us in the last few years that whatever he decides is quite unpredictable. Nobody saw him give up on that captaincy the way he did, the Test captaincy and the T20 captaincy as well. Nobody saw him give up his Test career the way he did, and that's the format that he loves. So those things took us by surprise. So I don't know what he has in his mind, but I'm assuming that 2027 World Cup is the goal, because if it wasn't, he wouldn't be in Australia playing this series. So that clearly is there, and then obviously this is going to be swan song in Australia, because he doesn't play Test or T20s. ODIs you're not going to be playing. So that is a given. That I think anyone who's watching also knows the answer to. I think the question is whether this is the last time he'll be wearing an India jersey or not. Because again, I go back to the reports, the same reports that suggested that Rohit will not be captain the next time India plays an ODI and this was said a few months ago, and that is true, right? He is not the captain now. That was a surprising bit. Similarly, there were many reports that had said that Australia tour is going to be the last tour for Rohit and Virat. I don't know if you remember, I remember them clearly, and there were a string of reports that did the round much before the selection of the team happened, months before the selection of the team has happened. So now the moment of the truth has come. It is the Sydney ODI, it is the last ODI, and then that's the question I want to know the answer to. Is it the last time we're going to be seeing them wear the India jersey, as was being reported?
I never took those reports on face value for the simple reason that I don't
But
think...
a lot of those reports do come true as well. Huh?
Yeah, some
like
do.
Rohit's captaincy
some do, some don't, but I'm
Virat to retire from Test cricket. You know,
at that time, a lot of kite flying that was happening as well.
No, but the report came and then he announced his retirement. Rohit Sharma will not be going to Australia, to England for the Test series.
Yeah. I frankly think at the end of the day, for the both of them, not just Virat, I think for the both of them, it's going to be determined on what is it that they gauge internally. It has to come from within. It may not come from the BCCI per se, but I think this is a conversation that we...
No, so wherever it comes from, whether from Rohit, Virat or BCCI, I want to know, is it the last time they're playing?
I don't think so. And if
Why do you say?
And if that is the case, again, there's no reason for the two of them internally or for the BCCI to,
but there was
force
no
them out of the...
There was no reason for Virat to be leaving Test cricket as well. I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think BCCI...
when Virat Kohli then, when we see these images of Virat training in London, clearly he wasn't doing it for 3 matches. When we see these interviews of Virat for one series...
Like if supposing, I'm just saying, it's all hypothetical, right? If there is your last series and you want to finish on a high, so you'd have to train before that, won't you?
Agreed. See, anytime any sort of practice is required. But in the case of Virat, if he then on day 1 of the series, if he comes and gives an interview, says that I'm feeling better than I ever have, I'm feeling completely fine, I love this place and everything looks good to me.
He never spoke about his future.
He never did.
How much he loved.
See, also that question wasn't directly asked as well in that interview.
That's what I'm saying. There is no clear-cut insight as to what he's thinking.
In his case, it's true that those 2 retirements that you spoke of, you never know what's happening in the great minds for a reason. Maybe they don't think like you and I do. Maybe that's why he's a great cricketer as well. You don't know what's happening in his head. We may not have necessarily agreed on how well those retirements were also timed, and it'll be a big shocker if Virat Kohli decides to retire. I don't think there's any reason to.
Just as it was a shock when he retired from Test cricket.
Absolutely.
Just as it was a shock when he gave up his captaincy.
Absolutely. So yes, we've been used to shocks from Virat Kohli, so this will just be a 4th or a 5th shock in Virat's case, but I don't think he should be. I don't think he should have retired from Test also. He should have continued playing. And he would have gotten runs in England. He could have gone on to play at least a couple more years of Test cricket, at least this WTC cycle. He could have gone. That's what I thought. But then he comes out and says that now he needs to color his beard hair more often than he used to, so he's aging, he wants to spend more time. Now these are insights that you only get from him, and then you understand what he's thinking, because in your and my head it was no. But what's also, again, I'll go back to that interview that he gave to Shastri and Gilchrist. He said, again, you also got a sense that he's happy now to have spent so much time with family that he's not been able to over all these years. And maybe once you do that, you realize, okay, I have something to aim for as well. I'm not done and dusted. Until only a few months back, I was doing extremely well for my team in Dubai. It's the one format that I've absolutely bossed over the last couple of decades. I am fit. So there is no reason, no inhibition per se.
So you're saying that now that he's spent a long time with the family, he's realized, no, I think I'm better off traveling only.
No, maybe that balance that he wanted, that little equilibrium maybe that he wanted to touch on, maybe he's done that. And yes, who knows if he's gotten exactly what he wanted in those few months in terms of downtime, family time, the motivation, you never doubt in his case. And if he's looking fit, he's not looking sharp with the bat. That is something that we've all seen. But one thing we know about Virat is he's always very hungry to go make a point. He's always been that achiever. No reason for somebody as fit as him to then be having these inhibitions.
No,
or
reasons
doubts.
were not there. That's how I go back. Reasons were not there for the Test cricket as well, but he did. So, do you see a shocker coming?
See, it'll be a shocker. If I see it coming, then it won't be a shocker.
So, I mean, let's see, I think both of them, I feel, are at a different place right now, and I don't want to club them. And they should not be clubbed when you look at even the cricket. Rohit is separate, Virat is separate. So, see, in Rohit's case, at least we know 100%. One interview that he gave in Marathi, where he said he wants to play 2027 World Cup, he gave that after he was stripped of his ODI captaincy, after the team was announced. So, we know what he has in his mind.
Yeah.
Then the fact that, he's lost a lot of weight, and I'm not saying that guarantees him a spot in 2027 World Cup, but the fact that he's losing a weight is at least telling you that he's got a plan in mind. He's determined. He wants to.
It's very symbolic.
It's exactly. So it's long term. I want to do it. So at least in Rohit's case, I know in his mind he wants to play. Now whether he makes it or not will depend on the form that he shows, and that will be the case for every other player as well. Why just Rohit? 2 years is a long time. Who knows? I give an example of Shubman Gill. I remember that England series in 24 a year ago, where he himself said in an interview that he knew, he was kind of told that if you don't get runs in this test match, we may have to send you back to domestic cricket and you have to come back. And then he goes on to score those runs and has a fantastic England series. Rest of this is history. Today he is a test captain. 1 year the world has turned around for Shubman Gill. Similarly, you can't say with guarantee for, why just Rohit and Virat, you can't say that with guarantee for anyone whether they'll play the 2027 World Cup or not. Form will be very crucial. Who knows, anyone, their form dips, there are other batters that you might start talking about, bring them in. Nobody really knows. So in that sense, I can't predict for anyone why just Rohit and Virat, but I know in Rohit's case, that's his goal, he's going for it. In Virat's case, I don't know that because he's not given us any sign. I personally, if you ask me, I would think that he's motivated. But then there are arguments like this that, he shocked us, as I gave you in previous occasions. Then there are arguments that will he have the desire because he already has a World Cup. In Rohit's case, he doesn't. So, he wants to push for that one big title. In fact, I was seeing a clip the other day. Ravi Shastri was asked about, 5 greatest ODI cricketers, and he picked everyone, and Rohit was also there, and then he says, listen, 4 of them are World Cup winners, barring Rohit. So at least that asterisk come. He's there in the 5 greatest ODI cricketers, but that asterisk is there that doesn't have a World Cup. Sachin has, Virat has, Kapil Dev has, and he had Sachin, Virat, Kapil, Rohit. And who else did he have in that list?
I know he named 5, but I just can't recall.
No, he didn't have UV or Viru. No. He had...
Let's check that.
Sachin, Virat, Kapil.
Yeah, that's 3.
Rohit Sharma. Who else did he name in that list? That is interesting. But I remember Dhoni, MS Dhoni. How could I forget? Correct. You're right. MS Dhoni. And so in that, all 4 remaining 4 have the World Cup in. So I know in that sense that Rohit's gunning for that. Virat, the Virat that we all knew would be the guy who would also be gunning for it. He was always very competitive. But he's surprised me. To answer the question that I asked you, I would also be very surprised if this is his last ODI. The feeling, and I can only go by my feeling, even though he's proven us wrong in the past, the feeling that I get is that he's aiming for the 2027 World Cup, which means, like every other player, he's also going to get a long rope, and till the end of this season at least, Maybe he's also not thinking long term. He's like, okay, let me also see how I go about. Let me finish this season of 9, 11 matches, whatever I play, and then maybe take it from there. How motivated I am, if I want to continue or not. But I don't think this is going to be a swang. So just to answer that question, because people might be, glued into the television sets tomorrow, Sydney. I think it is going to happen. Everything people will be looking at.
Yeah, see, given the kind of overreaction we got from Virat just lifting his gloves over there in acknowledgement of the crowd,
Yeah.
to everything that will happen tomorrow. Again, the stage is set in many ways. But while you were speaking, this is something that crossed my mind. Maybe we'll get that clarity, closer to the IPL. Why I say that is that's the time we see media engagement peak for Virat Kohli. Otherwise, unlike Rohit Sharma, he's not doing
Mr.
all these.
Nags and all.
Yes, he's not doing all these
But then
interviews.
those are all fun questions. He's never
No,
really
but
answering.
promotional events again. He's broken ways with that. He's part.
You never know. He gets a match-winning knock. Comes post-match. He comes, no then.
See, he's not going to come for a presser. We know that.
No, but
But really, will the broadcast?
that question will be asked. If he gets runs and he's performer
See,
of the match,
a lot
or
of the
man
time
the
it's
match.
just match specific. Okay, what is it that
exactly.
you make
No, but
made of
towards
the
the end
pitch?
say, so are you looking forward to the
You
season?
need then one of the Indian guys to be there to ask this question.
I can guarantee that if he does come, if he's got a performance, nowadays you have multiple awards also, na? It could be like performer of the match, man of the match, whatever. If he comes for that, but I think they only chat to the man of the match. So you can, for the rest, you just collect the check and you go. So okay, if he's the man of the match and he comes to speak, that question will 100% be asked. Even and there will be some sort of a reference there. It'll happen. It'll happen. But it's also telling the fact that he did that interview, and there was no question asked about his future is a possibility. Is a possibility that he doesn't want to speak about it, and he let them know in advance. Otherwise, I see no reason why that question won't.
That's what I'm saying.
In the
It's because having seen his journey over the last few years very closely, one thing with him is he'll only speak when he really wants to speak or
Correct.
let some sort of news out. Look at the fact that we were talking about how his media activity has been in the build-up to this series. It's all quiet now, but what did we see around that time? Suddenly, his own brand that he has. There were posts around it. Then he's retweeting a tweet of his, and then there was a quote. The only time you lose is if you stop competing, something like that. You see, that's the kind of messaging we've seen from Virat Kohli. It was under the garb of advert and all, but there was a message over there as well that
we don't know.
He's wanting to compete.
It could be an ad.
It's nothing's happening right now. You see.
Still ad for the brand. We don't know. That's speculative. To the other man, Rohit, we've already established that doesn't seem like it's his swan song. He's also got runs. But the other question was that could it be a scenario where you might rotate batters? Now, Rohit's gotten some runs. I'm just saying what certain reports are suggesting, and that Yashasvi is not part of the T20 squad. So he's gone all the way. Do you give him a game and rest Rohit? I'm not saying this is an indication of you looking past Rohit. It's just that you want to rotate.
Freshen things up.
No. Give Yashasvi a game because he's going to come back from Australia being just a tourist. No. So what do you reckon? Is that happening?
I think it could. See, I won't be surprised if that happens for the one simple reason that why is it that you entrusted Shubman Gill to be your man for 2027 and not Rohit Sharma? Because you weren't sure of two things, fitness and form. So you didn't want to be in a situation where you don't know what to do closer to 2027. Now that you're treading on that path, might as well also be prepared for the fact that if Rohit's not firing for us, okay, we have another captain, but we need another batter then to fill in for Rohit, and that has to be Yashasvi Jaiswal. I need these opportunities to see how is it that Yashasvi performs in these testing conditions, how is it that he copes up with the requirements of ODI cricket. We haven't seen that a lot. So with Rohit again, it's a case of we know what is it that Rohit can do. That day he showed us and reminded us that he's got that grinding game also left in him in case there were any doubts. What are we used to? We're seeing Rohit Sharma bat at 118, 120 strike rate. The other day we saw him build his innings from 25 to 50 strike rate to 60 and ultimately finishing around 75 to get to those 70 odd runs that he ultimately got, which was it was a breath of fresh air if you ask me, this new style that Rohit Sharma played with. So you know what Rohit Sharma has to offer. There are far more question marks in case of Yashasvi Jaiswal, and in case you've already gotten that surety from Rohit, what's the harm?
Okay, so you think you won't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah.
I actually have exactly the opposite thing. I'd be very surprised if that happens. And for some reasons. Why? I think one It's not uncommon for Indian players to go for tours and not get a game. Somebody asked Abhimanyu Ishwaran, somebody asked Sarfraz Khan, who was in that BGT tour, somebody asked Kuldeep Yadav in that England tour. So it's not uncommon for that to happen. In fact, ask Yashasvi Jaiswal also. He's also been on the wrong end of the stick. He's gotten many a time, out of teams where he should have been part of. So him not getting a game is a possibility. That wouldn't be,
Did we have Kuldeep over there in the list?
Yeah, I did mention. So in that case, that is not going to surprise me. And secondly, I think if you are watching Rohit closely, and I think the selectors are, this is primarily the reason why you've changed captains, because you're unsure. Then you want to see him as many games. What is it that Ajit Agarkar said that, listen, there are not enough ODIs from here onwards, so we have to be watching that. They'll be asked to play domestic cricket precisely for that. So now you have an ODI and you're not playing him and resting him, it doesn't make sense. So you might as well rest a player that you're 100% guaranteed. But then I was thinking, there is no other player that you can rest. You can't rest your captain because you're also testing the captain. Shubman Gill is also under trial for captaincy. So you want to see him as many games as possible in ODI captaincy, very different to test captaincy. So you want to see him as well. Shreyas Iyer is not part of your T20 setup that he'll play. So you want to see him as well. KL Rahul is not part of your T20 setup that he'll get to play some games coming forward. No. So you want to see him as well. The rest of them are bowlers and all-rounders that don't really, come in. So how is it that you play him is not, possible in the current scenario. So I'd be very surprised that Yashasvi Jaiswal comes in. In fact, I'd be looking forward to watching both Rohit and Virat. And, Rohit's already gotten some runs, but some more runs won't harm him. And if Virat can get those runs, at least what that'll do is take the pressure off these two, stop the chatter about what the future holds for them, because then there is a bit of a gap. And then the next time they come to play ODI series, I don't think there'll be that much scrutiny that will happen. That takes me to the other question. Kuldeep Yadav. Because you're talking
Curious
about,
case.
Though Kuldeep is part of your T20 team, so in that sense, he will get a game or two, coming up. But still, the question still remains. Does he get a chance to play here? If he does, how do you bring him in?
I was just looking at some of the numbers, how spinners and pacers have performed. There is a case to play Kuldeep.
If there is any pitch in Australia, you're going to play.
Exactly. Though it's not the Sydney of the old where spinners would really get a lot of purchase. It's diminished now, but there is. Even with those diminishing returns, I would say.
You don't remember the test match India played last year in Sydney? It was a fiery pitch.
It was a very uncharacteristic Sydney pitch.
So you can make that. And this is also the start of the Australia season. It's cold, so pitches will help fast bowlers. So not like the Sydney you get in January, which you get for the test matches. The New Year's test usually happens there. By the time it's peak summers and it's also taken a lot of wear and tear. Season has happened. This is a fresh pitch, so
no, you absolutely must. Again, I'll repeat what I said the other day. Why is the pitch logic applied only for bowlers and not batters? Do we look at batters looking at how is it that they performed in seam friendly, swing friendly, spin friendly conditions? We don't. We look at our best batters, throw them in, and are willing to compromise on their batting position. Why do we not extend the same courtesy to our
They do
bowlers?
That for batting, not for selection, but they keep changing the batting order.
That's what I'm saying. So that is, you are open to that as well. But here, this is non-selection basis the pitch. There is selection basis. There is automatic selection, not basis the pitch. There's only tweaking. Here there is selection on the basis of pitch. So that's a big difference. You want your best batters, you fit them in, best bowlers. Pitch is enough to rule them out. I don't get that logic, honestly. He should be playing, if going by what Adam Zampa did, India should learn something, if you can, from the team that's claimed the series already. Play Kuldeep Yadav, simple as that.
I would also want, I said this yesterday, that I wouldn't have been surprised that if India played Kuldeep in Adelaide, the series could have been 1-1. Eventually you just lost by a very narrow margin of 2 wickets. All you needed was another certified match-winning wicket taker in your team. You just had to break that partnership. Who knows, he got shot early or Conley early, which Kuldeep is quite capable of. It would have been a different result altogether. And see, this is the difference between the Indian team that's been winning a lot, like they won the Asia Cup, or the Indian team that won the T20 World Cup, because you had multiple match winners, right? So each bowler can win. Kuldeep can win you matches on his own.
Absolutely.
Varun Chakravarti can win you matches on his own. Jasprit Bumrah could win you matches on your own. So you had enough multiple bowlers, at least 3 or 4 bowlers there, who are match winners, with the rest of them being the support cast, and then you do the job. I think in this Indian team, in terms of experience, there is only that one Mohammad Siraj, I think you can say, who has shown you that he's won matches single-handedly. Arshdeep has been good, but he's got limited ODI experience. Arshdeep has been good in T20. So you are effectively playing with just one bowler who can turn the game on its head in this squad. And I think that is a big, big miss. That raises questions whether you want to fit in all those all-rounders like Washington Sundar, Nitish Reddy, Harshit Rana. I'm not taking anything away from them, but neither of them are match winners in, let's say Washi and Nitish Reddy can't win you matches with the ball. You know that. Harshit Rana cannot win you a match with the bat. And neither with the ball. I don't think he's reached that level of bowling yet. So now you've got 3 of your bowlers, Jay spoke about, who only can play a supporting role, and just having one match-winning bowler. So I think that is the issue with India. They have to find a way to get in another match winner alongside Siraj. But now that takes me to the point, how do I fit it in? If I was the captain, I would actually drop a all-rounder and play Kuldeep. I'm okay with batting till 7. I'm okay with that, because I know that 8 also has contributed, and in this series, more often than not, your top order has collapsed, so number 8 has been called in. But by and large, if you take a look at it, if you play Kuldeep, I'm going to be using him 100% of the time, right? All his bowler overs are going to be used. So I'm taking a resource which I'm using 100% of the time. If I'm getting batting till 8, it's a resource I may just use once in a while. 1 game in 6, or 1 in 8, or 1 in 10 will be the time. So why not take with something that you're going to be using 100% of the time?
I think the learning should also be that twice, both matches you've needed your number 8 to chip in.
That's what I'm saying.
And how big a difference did it make?
Yeah, I mean, it took you, see again.
I know Harshit got you to those 24 odd runs.
Very essential. Took you to a total you could have won the match with, provided you had the bowling. But then you compromised on that. That's what I'm saying.
And maybe again, barring those 15 odd overs, I think you had to have another 20 odd runs on the board, I felt.
But I'm saying, see, put a Kuldeep Yadav in that. Let's say it's IPL, impact sub is allowed. Kuldeep comes in, same bowling attack. That's a different game, my friend.
Yeah.
It's a different. Your catches. Australia held on to all their catches.
Yes.
Short got
twice.
And went on to score those many runs. Again, you never know that game. I think there was a competitive total on that pitch. India has also been unlucky with the tosses, having to bat early. So that's my other wish from Sydney.
17 times now you've lost the toss, and this started from the World Cup
India should be batting second, at least Indian batters, because of these winter fresh pitches. The first hour and a half are much tougher than the first hour and a half in the second innings. So if India get to chase for the sake of Rohit and Virat, they'll get slightly better conditions. Yeah, batting under light has its own challenge, but have to face up to the challenge. But it'll be still better than batting first, I guess. So that's something that they'll have to work with. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I probably might keep a Nitish Reddy out, because I'm hardly using him as a bowler. So I've got Akshar, Washi and Kuldeep then. And then I can have 3 fast bowlers, and then I'll take my Harshit Rana, because he'll give me a bit of batting, and Siraj and Arshdeep. So if you take a look at this 11, where you got Gill and Rohit, sir.
Though just 8 and 9 will change.
No, he's put Jaiswal there, yeah. He's changed the team. That was just what reports were suggesting. So, I'll go this team with Virat at 3, and then you have Iyer at 4, and Akshar at 5, because that's where he's been batting. And then you have KL at 6. Then at 7 you get
KR.
And Washington. Sundar. So you get Sundar at 7, and then you have Kuldeep at 8.
No, Harshit will bat ahead.
Harshit at 8. You're right. Harshit at 8, and then you get Kuldeep at 9. So how's this for batting? Where Harshit Rana has shown you that he can, do enough. How's this 11 for the Sydney game? I would be tempted to go with this particular. You've gotten batting till 8. If you're counting Harshit as an all-rounder, then he's there.
Yeah, on the team sheet, that's what it says.
No, in fact, what he showed you in the last game, that he's not just a long-handle big hitter.
Yeah, he cut the ball well.
Yeah, he's a proper bat. He can get you runs. So if you got Harshit at 8, Kuldeep, Siraj, and Kuldeep, by the way, is no mug with the bat. Let me also add you.
Yeah.
So with Kuldeep at 9, Siraj and Arshdeep, I think this is a far better 11 than the one that India.
See, I know it weakens. I know it weakens my bowling, but I'm happy having.
How do you weaken your bowling?
No, if you have a slash in front of Harshit's name and add NKR over there.
No, that
weakens.
No.
But see, I'm looking at 3 fast bowlers. I'm looking at long term. That's where. See, if I have, if I'm looking at bowling my spinners in the middle overs and drying up the runs, I've got.
Zampa is bowling at the death, yaar.
India won't do that, we know.
Why not? You've got a Sundar, you've got a Akshar, you've got a Kuldeep, you can bowl them.
See, because I'm just, again, it's not what I may necessarily like. I'm just trying to go with the philosophy that this team has been projecting and wants to play by, which is have more and more of these all-rounders and groom somebody who can be your next Hardik Pandya. But how else is that going to happen?
You cannot.
Because you've made...
Nitish Reddy cannot be Hardik Pandya.
See, you've been trying to push the envelope with Shivam Dube, right?
Yes, but he still can't be a Hardik Pandya.
I agree. But I'm just saying, who is your next best talent then? NKR.
But it's not about, just because you have no fast bowling all-rounder, you make it into the 11 and not play your best 11 and keep your certified match winner and Kuldeep out. I think that's unfortunate. This, I think, is a correct 11, a strongish 11. They need to play with this. It gives you batting till 8. And it's gotten 3 fast bowlers and 3 spinners, 6 bowling options as well. What else do you need? I would be very happy
as far as that thought of batting till 7 is concerned, I'm fine with that. I don't think you need necessarily 8. 7 is fine for me.
No, but here you got 8, no?
In a way, yeah. In a way.
Well, your namesake, if anyone who should be backing him, it should be you. You guys let us know what you think of the 11. Anyway, we'll take a few questions that are coming away. By the way, what is that video that's gone viral? Rohit Sharma saying.
There's a lot of noise around that one as well. You see Rohit Sharma, Gautam Gambhir, Shreyas Iyer, all these Indian fellows getting into the team hotel. It looks like from the match that ended in Adelaide, and they're heading back into the hotel. And again, I can't corroborate whether it was Gautam Gambhir. Just not sure about that. I do hear Gautam Gambhir partially in it, but there's in fact quite a lot of noise around.
I think that was Gautam's word, that farewell match.
Farewell photo, something he says. But the preceding part to that, I don't know whether it's a fan or someone saying.
But the important bit, though, he said farewell match.
Farewell. So there was some banter.
Basically, they were laughing at all
reports
or social media posts suggesting that. Obviously, it's not. In Rohit's case, he's 100%. See, Rohit will not be a happy person now, and I can clearly make that out. That much he's not been in the usual self, you can make out. And I know that he's not happy primarily because you've taken the captaincy from him away. And anyone else in his position also wouldn't be a happy chappy. Yeah, so he's not really there. But I think it's only strengthened his resolve to try and perform even better. And I think he's kind of showing that. Okay, let's dive.
Let's begin.
No. Come on, yaar.
Vishal Panchal. I was about to say Vishal, you know what. Because you see PAN over there. But Vishal Panchal says that he's tired of Gautam Gambhir's all-rounder policy in tests and ODIs. Stop weakening the bowling for batting depth. Let the top and middle order take responsibility. Thank you.
Stolen the words out of our mouth.
Thank you.
100% wholeheartedly. Vishal, and I'm not saying it now, been saying it from BGT onwards, where this whole thing started.
Yeah, otherwise, your specialist will be an extinct identity.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Tikolo is here.
Steve Tikolo says that Gautam Gambhir is India's savior. Gautam Gambhir is selfless, blah blah. Why does this trend on social media whenever Gautam Gambhir loses a series or behind, or his decisions are questioned, like benching KULDEEP?
I don't know, Steve, why that happens. Is that firstly correct? Is that those trends are there? But I'm sure if he's pointing it out, maybe they are.
Think they are, sort
maybe
of.
Maybe they are. I don't know. But I always tell people, why do you have to bother about trends, right? And I think too many people think that, they can influence a trend and that will change the narrative. But what I've realized, it doesn't matter what the trend is, the real love, hate, criticism, appreciation will remain. Like supposing if I sponsor a trend and I put it out also, that is never going to have any impact, long-term impact. It might see it, but the people will make up their mind basis on what they believe in or the analysis that they see. So forget the social media trends. Why should they even bother you?
Yeah.
But nowadays that social media trends are being manipulated. By the way, it's not a comment on just Gigi or anyone. Everyone, all players, everyone has big PR teams. Just now I was just seeing, just to give an example, Conley got those runs yesterday. Yeah. He is being trolled. No, sorry, not Conley. Bartlett. Yeah. Bartlett is being trolled after getting Virat's wicket. People are abusing him on Instagram, saying Virat is your dad, ruined the game.
That just takes us to the next comment as well from Shaurya, and he insists that we take it. He says that Virat fans are just not behaving the right way. In fact, he's calling them toxic because there's abuse being hurled at Anushka Sharma. For what reason, I don't know. And the player that you mentioned in Xavier Bartlett.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
It also, again, it's cyclical, it's repetitive if you ask me. I remember there was this time during the World Cup 2 years back when Virat Kohli was seen flipping that bottle, right? You do that. Flip the bottle with some water in it. If it rests, it rests. Doesn't rest, it falls. Simple as that. And that particular bottle didn't rest. Are you going to try that?
No, I didn't drink.
So, and then people went to the concerned bottle manufacturer and were unfollowing and just doing all the kind of nonsense that they're up to right now on social media.
That's stupidity. By the way, I must tell you that if you're fans of a certain cricketer or whatever, he or she will also not appreciate such fans. Let's be honest. And I don't know what you get out of it. And by the way, if I'm a fan of something and I'm also a fan of stars or players and whatever, I'm not going to go out of my way to defend them, or in fact I'm also judging them all the time. And I'm seeing their actions and I'm seeing their behavior, I'm seeing their performances and I'm judging them for that. If you close your eyes and believe in everything they say, then the whole balance goes and you can't be judging them. So I can't understand why people will be like that. To be hurling abuses at a bowler who's only doing his job of playing for his country and taking a wicket. What is he supposed to do? Not do it. And why they're trolling Anushka Sharma, I can't understand. They feel that because of her he won't be playing cricket.
The loss of form, etc. Whatever.
So what has she got to do with it?
I just don't understand.
That okay, she's made a man out of him who's so nice and decent. They liked him and that. Please, yeah. That's like the most
I think it goes back
thing.
to that press conference in which Virat said, "Do I look the puja part types?" Gets married, etc. Settles in life, and is now seen visiting and all these temples and is on pilgrimages.
Also people have to realize. I can't understand. Each one of us also changes.
We evolve. Simple as that.
Exactly. All of us do. We change. And different circumstances make us change. Not only with age, it's circumstances, where we are in life, what we've tried to achieve. And sometimes you can think, this is a realization I'll tell you, like I love sport, right? I love sport. I used to play and that's why I got into sports journalism. I cover it. But I also realized at one point India winning or losing was a matter of life and death. And I later realized that there are far more important things happening around the world which impact us in a greater way than a game, a sport. That's okay. That's why we used to always say, don't ever call a team losing a disaster. A fire in a building that leads to death of people, that's a disaster. A match lost is not a disaster. Nobody died. How can that be a disaster? So, sometimes you get perspective.
I don't remember who said this, but there's also objections made to, in cricket, the last overs being called the death overs. Because again, there's...
Yeah, that's again, but I'm saying that's fine, being sensitive about it or whatever. That's another thing. Being woke about it, which I'm fine. I'm saying, sometimes we take things so personally as in, this is be all and end all. But in life, this is a very small little thing. At the end of the day, it's entertainment, right? We watch it for that. And it should not be something that should... I think maybe Virat also realized. He had a dream to play for India. He loved the sport. He chased it. Maybe he has reached a point where he realizes there's so much more to life than just this. So many other things that gives him more. He, as a kid, playing cricket gave him happiness. Maybe as a young professional, it gave him immense joy and happiness. It still does, I'm sure. He was happy when he won the IPL or when he wins a match. But he's probably realized the things that give him greater happiness. And why is it so tough for all of us to understand? It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. You change with time. But the fans need to realize that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Railways match, yeah.
The same thing. Anyone who gets him out will get hit. What is this? Are they not supposed to play? Give him just full tosses. Bizarre. Bhargav says a chase around 270-80, 20 for 3. He is scoring 100. Ooh.
That is prediction for tomorrow.
Nice one. Okay. Okay, that's a good call. If that does happen, Bhargav, we are...
A shout out to you then.
Yeah, 100%.
On a live show.
Correct. Yeah. Ashish Dar says VK should have focused on WTC. Only trophy missing. Also true. I agree. That's why it was a big shocker for me that he let go of Test cricket.
Yeah.
Big shocker. Raj from the US says, why was Hardik not picked? Hardik is injured, sir.
Injured.
He's injured at the moment. He's begun his rehab. He was there in Bangalore as well.
4 weeks is what we were told initially.
Yes. The injury happened right before the Asia Cup final, if you
Lanka.
remember. So...
Sri Lanka match?
Yeah. I'm saying he did not make the... it was the game versus Sri Lanka and did not make the final of the Asia Cup.
Yes. Yeah.
Siva Subramaniam says, does BCCI give captaincy to Gill as he is beardless? As only beardless captains won 50 over World Cup till now.
That's bizarre. And
but MS has had beard but didn't have a beard while he was there. Yeah, that's true.
Kapil Dev had a moustache though.
He had a moustache. Yeah. But this is a new one, I must say. No. Obviously he's joking.
Rakesh Bhushan says that in bilateral, Gautam Gambhir has lost ODIs to Sri Lanka, lost in home versus New Zealand, I think he says. Yeah. Lost BGT 4-1, draw against an under par England side, lost ODI versus average Australian team. When he will be put under the litmus test, accountability has to be fixed.
But again, as I said, if you remember, even Dravid's tenure, there were a lot of failures there. But I think England would have been that litmus test. Had India not done well in England, there would have been question mark. But to say that, substandard English side, not too many people had given that young or a team in transition like India that many chances.
There were predictions of 3-1, 4-1 and whatnot.
They've done well, you got to accept it. They won a very, competitive, high pressure Asia Cup. They won the Champions Trophy. So, I think he has reasons enough to carry on.
Steve Tecolo with another one says that international games are not meant for grooming. Ask NKR to play Ranji, bowl long spells, develop skills there. He can be drafted into the team then. 3 overs are of no good.
I agree with
that.
Rakesh Bhushan.
Rakesh Bhushan says that there is a perception being created that Roko have been given a chance to play and perish. We don't see Gigi having an arm around Rocco and trying to iron out differences. We see an exclusive environment rather than an inclusive one.
I don't know what the environment is at the moment. I think uh, the best people to answer that would be the two players possible. As I said, if I am Rohit Sharma and Gautam Gambhir, though there was a funny comment made by Gautam Gambhir today, it looked like they both were sharing a joke or two. But let's say that they are not best of pal, that's also fine. That's always been the case. The coach and not every player are on best of terms. Sometimes it's a very professional relationship, and I'm absolutely fine with that. So long as you're not making matters uncomfortable for the players to, exist and thrive. I don't think that that's the case at the moment. Again, if there are, let's say, even if I was to believe that in Gautam's case, he sees a future with Shubman Gill going forward, that also is not unusual. Each coach has his own ideas. Gautam, as a player in Delhi, also backed a lot of players that he believed in. He had issues with the ones that he didn't believe in. Again, it just boils down to who you think can be the best man for the job. At the end of the day, as you just said, Gautam himself is under scrutiny. Performance has to come. If he thinks this is the right way to gun for a World Cup or to win a World Cup, then he's taking that way. You and I may agree or disagree with him. That's fine. But I'll also tell you that he's quite a misunderstood guy. I've known him for many years. You can criticize for his likes, dislikes. He's had issues in the past with coaches and players too. Yes, but I don't think there is. I mean, he's also quite competitive. He also wants to win. And I don't think at any point he does not have the interest of Indian cricket in mind. I'm sure he does. One, his personal interest to do well as a coach. Everyone would like that. He's competitive by nature. Every sports person is. Secondly, I don't think he would want to harm Indian cricket and not want Indian cricket to. So he wants it. Yes, his approach may be different than yours and mine. And that is where we may agree or disagree.
Oh, he's a thorough winner, I would say. It's the only thing on his mind is winning.
So
I remember this interview from Tilak a few days back, a couple of weeks back, where he talked about the Spartan mentality being instilled into the team, and winning is the only thought that's instilled in the team now.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Again, each, not to say the previous coaches didn't have that, they had different approaches. Also, you must realize that, coaches having their own likes and dislikes is a very normal thing. It has happened. I've always said that there's always been a pair that's worked together, and the same coaches and the same captains haven't worked out with the other ones. I'm sure there will be a bit of uncomfortableness between Rohit, especially after Rohit goes to the award function, doesn't take Gautam's name, and then, of course, the decision was taken in consultation with the coach to have a young captain. All those things will, of course, hurt both of them. And it's not going to be like they'll be very comfortable, but then that happens in team sport all the time.
Yeah.
Again, as I said, oftentimes people said, we pushed Ashwin out. But you have to wait for an Ashwin to come and say that no, both Rohit and Gautam actually spoke to him that don't retire. But at that time, the chatter was that Gautam Gambhir has pushed Ashwin out. You have to wait for him to come out and tell his story. Randomize from the US says, how to break the deadlock where Rocco don't play domestic and also don't perform. Also, Shreyas and KL need to take on pressure like Kohli and Sharma. That's true, by the way. They have actually.
Yeah, I would say both have.
Yeah, Champions Trophy, both of them had a great time.
Even the World Cup.
Yeah, but what was his first point? How to break the deadlock where Rocco don't play domestic and also don't perform. If you're trying to ask that if they don't play domestic and they don't perform, what is going to happen?
What is going to happen?
I think then it's going to be curtains for them.
Agreed.
I think it will be.
Rakesh Bhushan once again says that Virat Kohli is under tremendous pressure. I think team management needs to ease him out. Even after enormous experience, we could see Virat unsettled on the crease. The calmness in him is missing. Sword that is hanging around him, is that possibly disturbing him? This so often we say this, that cricketers are used to shutting out the outside noise and all, but let's be honest, they're aware of everything that happens. If a Virat Kohli scores a century, does this and then does gestures this after scoring a century in Adelaide, he's pretty much privy to what's being said about him. So these athletes do, and you expect them to deal with it. Simple.
But
as
I
that.
would agree that I think, I mentioned after that previous ODI that, Virat failing is fine. It's happened to him previous times as well. So should we make much of it? No. But the only thing I found different was that, he looked very tentative and unsure. I've never seen him. Even in his worst phases, he's just such a confident person. And the only thing I can think of is this chatter probably
Getting to him.
I mean, like constant scrutiny. Not that he can't bounce back. Of course he can. But it'd also be naive of us to think that he's built out of, steel and iron. He's made out of flesh and bones. He'll also have emotions. It'll affect him.
Yeah.
That's what I...
Randomize with another one. He says, let's assume that Roko are not part of the 2027 World Cup. Should KL Rahul then be opening with Jaiswal with Gill at 3, considering World Cup is in South Africa and KL Rahul needs a fixed spot like in Test cricket?
But I don't think that'll happen.
Very interesting suggestions though.
Gill won't leave number 3, I reckon. I don't think.
So he wanted to get to number 4, which he has now in Test cricket. Here as well.
Could happen. You never know. But who's going to open that? KL? No.
I doubt. And please don't do that to KL Rahul. Please just don't.
He's looking to be a finisher only. Plus, there will be a few batters you'll be looking at. Abhishek is going to be knocking on the doors.
Yashasvi, we've already talked about.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you look at those. Tilak maybe
middle order
for a chance. So if you push somebody from the middle order to open like KL, then Tilak comes in. Who knows? Let's not forget there's going to be a Hardik Pandya also coming in.
Yeah, that number 5 spot's there for him.
Yeah.
There could be a Rishabh Pant who you want to throw in the middle order as well. Though in this list he's at the bottom at the moment.
Yep.
Jurel, ODI, not sure.
Okay, I'm going to take last 2 questions. We've got Sarat Chandra saying, Nikhil sir, why aren't we questioning these team selections? We all know it won't work anywhere. They're boasting their ego in few wins. We need to question more. This series loss is because of bad selection. Sarat Chandra, completely agree. In fact, we have questioned the selection earlier in the video. I'm sure your comment came now. But do check out that. Rajiv Ranjan says, Nikhil bro, Virat will definitely score in Sydney because Stark and Hazelwood might not play in Sydney. We know, but my point is I would have liked your Virat type attitude, that let them play and Virat will still score runs. But there is a chance they might rest them as well.
There's the Ashes coming up as well. The job's anyway done.
Yeah, might be a possible. Okay. Final comment. Siva Subramaniam.
New one from Siva. Says that Gautam Gambhir before 2020 in an interview said that if Rohit doesn't captain India, it isn't his misfortune, it's India's misfortune. It is because of Kohli.
No, that is not true. See again, the comment that he said was there anything wrong in that? He was right? Rohit's been one of the best captains that you've had. So I think he was right, and we had seen Rohit the captain in IPL. So I think his larger point was that if he doesn't get to captain, it'll be rather unfortunate. Which he was right as it's panned out. And see, this is what I say. People take out old clips that Gambhir said this at that time. But see, he said about Shami that without Shami you can't play. Now he's not playing Shami. But you got to remember, just as we spoke about, things evolve, things change. Your opinion will also change. You're at a different time right now. You're at a different time then. What you think of Rohit, the captain at that age, at that time. And now when you're thinking of the 27 World Cup, you're looking at him differently. So again, things change, things evolve. And I think that's exactly what has happened to anyone. But this is what social media does. Takes out Purana comment and says, oh, this one said this, this one said that. Chalo, on that note.
It's good night from the two of us. We will see you tomorrow.
Apologies for being late today. I had another recording to do. So
for now it's good night, Nandri, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair. Plenty other videos as
tomorrow
well.
Tomorrow going to be live as we always are, mid-innings. Whether India bat first or bat second, whatever. We'll be live mid-innings and of course post-match as well. So look forward to your company then.
Join us tomorrow. See you. Until then, good night. Take care. Bye bye. Shubh Ratri. Shubh
Bye-bye.
Bakhair. Shivam tells us we are nearing a landmark. It's a mini landmark if you ask me, but every landmark matters. So 650k subscribers on YouTube. That's what we're closing in on. So this is for those of you who make an effort. Join us every evening, maybe at night as well, but haven't really subscribed till now. Please go ahead. Just a little tap. It'll just make our day. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Share this video. Like this one as well. Subscribe. Tap the bell. Bye.